Well, hi there. My name is Kareth, and I'm going to do a review of the food from the main dining room aboard the Royal Caribbean ship Mariner of the Seas. My family and I just returned from a 5-night Western Caribbean cruise. It's the end of June 2024. I thought it might be kind of helpful for people who are wondering, what is the food actually like on board? I'll give you an honest review of our experience. I already have a YouTube channel. I typically do recipes for freeze-dried food, but this is something totally different. This is just for fun. I'm not associated with Royal in any way. I'm not a travel agent. These opinions are just my own. Now, I'm the kind of person who likes to do a little bit of research before going on vacation. I certainly did that before our cruise. The videos I watched on YouTube before we went were super helpful, but I just didn't find too many of the main dining room reviews that were very recent. The only ones I saw were great, but they're more than a year or two old. I know Royal has made some big changes in the MDR lately, mostly to ensure faster service. And in this video, I'll talk about that as well as review the dishes we had each night in the main dining room. I'll also include a smattering of other snacks and meals we ate while on board. Oh, and I wanted to mention, if you like this video or find it helpful, if you would please just hit the like button. That helps the YouTube algorithm push it out to other people who also might find this helpful. All right, this was our first glimpse of Mariner. She sails out of Galveston these days, and she's just such a beautiful ship. I think somewhere around 3,100 passengers. Her itineraries are typically a 4-night Western Caribbean and a 5-night Western Caribbean. So we did the 5-night, and it's just such a gorgeous ship. And look at that new beautiful terminal that Royal has built. It's really, really nice. We had sailed out of the old terminal, and this one is just a really nice upgrade. It's really well planned out, and there was no problem with crowds. All right, when we got on board, you enter, I think, on deck 4. We went up the stairs and found the promenade deck first thing. There is a cafe promenade that we really did frequent while we were there. That's where you can get the free pizza and little sandwiches, and they have a coffee shop, they call it espresso because it's pretty fast. Okay, so we did stop and get a bite of pizza when we first got on board because it was probably about 11:30 when we got on. And to be honest, I thought their pizza was great. I had heard, their pizza is terrible. It is not anymore, y'all. It's really good. I think they have improved some things from what I have read. This pizza is, quote, New York style. I mean, it's a thin crust, but I thought the ratio of cheese to sauce to crust was spot on. It was so good. We typically had the cheese or the pepperoni or the supreme, but they had lots of different options for toppings. And overall, we were just really pleased. I think we probably had a slice or two of pizza, maybe 4 or 5 different occasions during our cruise. Now, was this comparable to something you would eat when you're in Italy on vacation? No, I mean, it wasn't anything like that. But was it comparable to something you would get at a mall or at the airport or, something like that? I mean, it was a solid, good piece of pizza, and it's pretty great that it's already included in your cruise fare. We went to the main dining room for dinner the first night, and it is just a beautiful room. The dining room spans 3 floors. It's deck 3, 4, and 5. And I don't know if you can see, but that's Maria and Captain Von Trapp, the statue at the bottom underneath the Texas flag there. I guess it's a Sound of Music themed room, but everything in there is beautiful. The chairs are comfortable, the white linen, the silverware. It's so very well done. It's a very upscale, but at the same time relaxing environment. Each night when you go to the main dining room, they'll take you to your table, and each night you can eat at the same table if you sign up for either early dining or late dining. You will also get the same wait staff every night, and we absolutely adored our waiters. They were fantastic. Every night we got a menu placed in front of us, and each night it had the chef's recommendations on the top, the starters, the mains, and the desserts listed, and then that gray highlighted section is what you can get for an upcharge. The menu changes every night. The first night it was welcome aboard night. Our formal night was our second night, and that was French night. Then we had taste of the Caribbean, a taste of Mexico, and then a taste of Italy for our last night. One of the nice things about eating in the main dining room is that you can order just as many of each course as you like. So yes, there is a limited menu to choose from, but we typically every night ordered 2 starters, 1 main, and 1 dessert. All right, this is something that Royal does extremely well. The bread basket. We had 2 baskets of bread brought to our table every night. There were 4 of us eating together. I don't know what magic is going on behind the scenes there, but there are some very talented pastry chefs cranking out delicious bread and rolls. We enjoyed the bread so very much. The first night, I ordered the chilled shrimp cocktail. It was perfect. The shrimp was tender. It was not overcooked. The cocktail sauce was really flavorful. It was a favorite for sure. My husband ordered a Caesar salad. I just forgot to snap a picture of it. He loved it. I enjoyed it as well. We do recommend their Caesar salads. My girls both ordered the escargot the first night, and they loved it. The garlic butter, the cheese, and I was really proud of my younger daughter for at least trying it. She's usually not very adventurous with food, but she gave it a go.
Tastes like chicken.
She thought it tasted like chicken. I think they taste like mushrooms, so there you go. All right, for the main dishes, I enjoyed the prime rib. I think this is the best thing to order that night. The chef recommended the fried chicken. The waiter recommended the prime rib. I went with the waiter's recommendation, and boy, oh boy, it was fantastic. So delicious. It's very tender. The sauce is incredible. It was the best thing that we ordered that night. All right, the royal cheesecake. I just don't think you can go wrong with royal cheesecake. It's delicious. We went to an ice show that night. These people are incredibly talented. I have no idea how they do all of that while on the sea, but they do, and it was great. All right, the next morning we woke up to just beautiful skies, calm waters, blue ocean, and we had been worried about a hurricane, but that never materialized. We had great weather. Praise God for that. We decided to do the main dining room for breakfast. So I took a snapshot just to show you how long of a line there was. It was never very long, and we got seated within probably 2 minutes. Every time you go into the main dining room for breakfast or for lunch, you need to go to deck 3. They only serve out of deck 3, and you just wait in line. It's first come, first serve. They take you to a different table every time you show up, and you have different wait staff. But you have the exact same menu each time. This is the breakfast menu on Mariner of the Seas currently. So if you can read the small print, I don't know if you can see all those things, but you are able to order multiple dishes if that's what you want to do, and you can order multiple sides. I recommend ordering at least a couple of things with a side of bacon. If you love bacon, man, they have great bacon. So order a side of bacon no matter what you order. I got a refreshment package and got the fresh squeezed orange juice every morning. It was so good. This morning, we ordered 3 dishes for 2 of us to split. The first one is the breakfast bowl, and it's 2 over medium eggs and some sauteed vegetables underneath. I really like this one. The mushrooms in there, the zucchini, the red bell peppers are great. That's a good dish if you like eggs and vegetables. Their French toast is fantastic. They dip it, I think, in some sort of cinnamon sugar on the edges. The fruit compote and the whipped cream are wonderful in there. If you like French toast, give that a try. My husband ordered the omelet your way. You can pick 4 things to stuff it with. He chose ham, cheese, spinach, and mushrooms, and a side of bacon. Every time we walked into the main dining room, I just tried to take it all in and just enjoy the beauty of that space. It's a wonderful place to eat. I'm going to go ahead and tell you what we got for breakfast the rest of the cruise, and then I'll move on to the dinners. I got this dish twice. This is their breakfast burrito. It's fantastic. That's a flour tortilla that they grill, I think, and it's stuffed with scrambled eggs, hash browns, cheese, and chorizo sausage. I get it with a side of bacon, of course. I love my bacon. And it comes with guacamole, sour cream, and salsa. My husband got Eggs Benedict 2 different mornings with a side of bacon. Now, it's not the best Eggs Benny he's ever had, but it's still very solid. He ordered it twice. I think the eggs are really great, but the hollandaise was not his favorite, but he still enjoyed it. If you don't want to go to the main dining room for breakfast or for lunch, you can always go to the Windjammer buffet. That is up on deck 11. Here's a picture of what it looks like there. There's lots of tables. It's got a beautiful view. It's a very busy place. It's quite noisy. It wasn't our favorite place to be, but that's just because we enjoy the sit-down experience in the main dining room. The food, however, in the Windjammer buffet is actually pretty good. There are so many varieties of things to eat. Everyone can find something that they like. And once again, they have the best bread. They're bakers, I'm telling you. They know what they're doing. We always got an extra pat or two of the salted butter to go along with our bread and our rolls. So good. So many things, so many options to choose from. Waffles, avocado toast. My daughter loved their avocado toast. They have the smoked salmon, the capers to put on there. She got bagel and lox in the main dining room as well. It's probably the same food. It's very good. My younger daughter loved their hash browns. Crispy on the outside, fluffy in the middle. Such sweet, smiling faces that serve you carved meat. I mean, who's going to complain about that? It was great. And look at the mounds of bacon. Yeah. It was amazing. Here's what my plate looked like. We ended up in the Windjammer on 2 mornings. So a Nutella croissant, some sort of vanilla custard-filled pastry. They have eggs over medium just for you to take. I put cheese and salsa on top of mine and a mound of bacon underneath. So it was a really, really nice meal. We ran into one of our waiters from the main dining room, Mayor. He was in charge of the Windjammer for the morning. And I tell you what, he is so good at his job.
Very good morning, everybody. This is Mayor from the Mariner of the Seas. And yeah, the best part here in the Windjammer is the people over here. And the coffee, not to forget about. Yeah. Have a good day.
Oh, thank you, Mayor. We never actually ended up eating lunch in the main dining room the entire cruise. It didn't work out with our schedule. The first day, it wasn't open, at least not for us. On 2 days, we were actually in port and ate lunch in port. And the other 2 days, we either ate at the Windjammer or at Johnny Rockets. But dinner, we ate every dinner in the main dining room, and we loved it. The bread service was fantastic, like I've mentioned before. On the second evening, it was a French-themed night, the royal night, I think they called it, and it was the formal night. We had escargot, and it was fantastic. But our favorite appetizer, and I didn't even snap a picture of it, was the French onion soup. It was delicious, absolutely fantastic. Highly recommend. 2 of us ordered the herb-encrusted salmon, and I think it had wonderful flavor. It was slightly overcooked. It was just a little bit on the dry side, but great flavor. I think if you enjoy salmon, you would enjoy that one. One of my kids got the seafood linguine. She said it did not have a lot of flavor, and she liked the seafood except the mussels. She did not enjoy the mussels. The best thing that we ordered was the beef tenderloin that night. It was fork tender. I didn't even need my knife. Just look at that beautiful piece of beef. The asparagus was cooked perfectly. I thought the sauce, or the au jus, whatever that is, it was fantastic. I suggest you order extra sauce if you like that. Order that at the beginning. My husband and I both ordered the warm apple cobbler with vanilla ice cream for dessert. It was super yummy. I highly recommend that one. The apples were cooked nicely, the crumble was delicious, and that vanilla ice cream. Very nice accompaniment. My daughter loved the creme brulee, that crunchy caramelized sugar on the top and then the creamy middle. She really, really enjoyed it. The dinner service took us on average 1 hour per night. It was somewhere in between 55 minutes and an hour and 5 minutes. And I just think that's a vast improvement over what we had experienced in years past. We very much enjoyed the pace of the meal. We did not feel rushed, but at the same time, we felt like it was a really nice pace from the bread service to them taking our order, to bringing out appetizers, refilling our drinks, bringing out the mains, cleaning up the table, and then bringing out our desserts. It was just a really nicely paced, very relaxing dinner, and we didn't feel like we wasted any time at all. The next day we were in port at Costa Maya, and we very much enjoyed our time in port. But when we got back on the boat, it was kind of a weird hour. The Windjammer was not open, and my girls were craving a cheeseburger, so we took them to Johnny Rockets, and they loved it. Now, this venue is an upcharge. It's $18. That includes a starter like fries, a meal like a double cheeseburger, and a drink. Since I had the refreshment package, my ice cream shakes were free. Or they were included in that. I got an Oreo shake. My daughter got a chocolate shake. The crew here at Johnny Rockets, they are just so sweet. I think they go above and beyond to make your experience kind of special. They make shapes out of your straw paper and put that on your straw for your shakes. They make smiley faces in the ketchup. And anyway, they just took great care of us, and we really enjoyed visiting Johnny Rockets on board. For dinner that night, it was Taste of the Caribbean night. My daughter ordered the pulled pork bao tacos, and she said she loved the pulled pork, but the bun, not so much. It was kind of a miss for her. The best appetizer was the coconut shrimp. It was delicious, crispy on the outside, slightly sweet from the coconut, not overcooked, nicely fried, very good. My older daughter got the chicken korma that night. It's one of the Indian dishes. I think they have an Indian dish every night in the main dining room, and they are fantastic. She loved every single one of the ones she got. My husband and I both ordered the garlic herb tiger shrimp, and it was okay. I mean, it was pretty good. It was not our favorite. I just think it lacked seasoning. The shrimp was cooked well, just lacked the seasoning. For dessert, we got some sort of a chocolate cake with ice cream. I can't remember the name of it, but it was good. It was all right. I think the best thing was the warm blueberry cobbler with ice cream that my husband got. That was very good. One of my daughters got a fruit and cheese plate, and they just gave her an extra chocolate chip cookie. She really enjoyed that. The next morning, when we woke up, we were in Cozumel. We were docked right next to another one of Royal Caribbean's ships, Independence of the Seas. We enjoyed our time in Cozumel so much. We stayed in the port, actually, did a lot of shopping, and we basically just walked down the stairs. See those stairs right there? We walked down the stairs and into the Caribbean Sea. It was wonderful. The sea was just gorgeous. We had such a nice time in port. The blue waters of the Caribbean Sea are so mesmerizing, absolutely wonderful. When we got back on board, we stopped at Cafe Promenade and had some of the sandwiches. They have different sandwiches every day. Their egg salad was so good. The tuna salad was delicious. That roast beef was yummy, as well as the chicken wrap. We really enjoyed those sandwiches. For dinner that night, it was a taste of Mexico in the main dining room. We ordered the roasted poblano soup. That was actually very tasty. It had a good amount of spice. I think it would have been a little bit better had they added some cream to it, but that's just my opinion, of course. We also ordered some chilled shrimp cocktail. Again, that was one of our favorites. Anytime that's on the menu, I think that's a good choice. We also tried the grilled sweet corn cakes, and they were okay. I like the flavor of the corn, but I didn't love the texture. I think it needed to be a little bit crispier. For the main dish, I tried the pulled pork enchilada, and Y'all, it was very tasty. But as someone who lives in Texas, we have a lot of Tex-Mex food, okay? And to me, that was not an enchilada. To me, that's a burrito, but maybe that's just the difference between Tex-Mex food and actual Mexican food. The pulled pork enchiladas, they were in a flour tortilla. The pulled pork was delicious, very tender, really tasty, great sauce. I enjoyed it. I just thought it was more like a burrito and less like an enchilada. But either way, it was very good. One of my daughters enjoyed the butter chicken. It was delicious. I tasted hers. It was so yummy. I ordered the layered coconut cake. Oh, it was very good. And any night, I think any night, you can order ice cream. If nothing else looks good to you on the menu, order the ice cream. My daughter really enjoyed their chocolate ice cream. I did want to mention that there are other specialty dining options available on board. Now, we didn't go to any of them. There's Chops Grill. I think they have steaks there. There's Jamie's Italian. I've heard great things about it. And then there's Izumi, which is the hibachi and sushi place. I talked to a lady on board who went. She took her family. There were 4 of them. They spent $200 on a meal at Izumi. She said it was the best hibachi she had ever had. She was happy to pay that money. She said she would do it again in a heartbeat. She loved it. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that just in case you wanted to know like what other options are available on board. From what I hear, people really enjoy them. And for the last night in the main dining room, it was a taste of Italy. This is the night that the sourdough rolls made their debut, and they were, oh, so good. We started off the night with the arancini. It's those balls of risotto and cheese that are stuffed and fried, I think, and they were good. They were not the best ever because they weren't very crispy, but the Caesar salads were delicious. One of my kids got the mushroom risotto, and she just said it was not very good. It wasn't too tasty. It was kind of flat. And well, anyway, our waiters noticed that she wasn't eating it. So they brought her the spiced lamb kofta. And that was fantastic. So they just did such a good job of taking care of us. We loved our servers so much. 2 of us ordered the chicken parmesan, and oh, so tasty. The chicken was slightly overcooked. It was just a little bit dry, but fantastic flavor, great crispy exterior. Highly recommend that one. I think the best thing was what I got, which was the lasagna. It was beefy, it was saucy, it was cheesy, it was oh so good. And that crispy fried basil just pushed it over the top. Really, really nice dish. My daughter ordered the tiramisu. She had not tried tiramisu before, and she said it tasted like soggy pancakes to her. And I kind of agree. I ordered the warm chocolate hazelnut cake with ice cream. It was good. It was not the best ever dessert, but it was definitely good. So I think overall, if I were going to give a star rating to the main dining room, out of 5 stars, I'm going to rate the food a solid 4.2. There were just a couple of things that we really did not care for, and even those, they felt like just part of the experience, like we were tasting a lot of different dishes. Some we preferred more than others, but the vast majority of the food in the MDR was very tasty, and we would definitely choose to eat there again if we were to return. Surprisingly, I hardly ever felt the need to add salt to my food, just a couple of times. For the most part, it was well seasoned, and the dishes that were supposed to be spicy had a nice kick to them. I think I'm one of those people who feels blessed that I didn't have to plan, shop for, prep, cook, or clean up after about 15 meals, and for that I am genuinely thankful. But at the same time, we honestly very much enjoyed the food, the service, the entire experience. You can't really separate them. All right, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed hearing about our meals in the main dining room of Mariner of the Seas on our 5-night Western Caribbean cruise. I certainly did enjoy doing this video. This was really fun for me to do. So once again, a big thank you to Royal Caribbean. Thank you to our servers, to the chefs, the sous chefs and bakers, the line cooks, everyone who is working so hard behind the scenes to make our cruise enjoyable and memorable. I hope this video was helpful, or at least informative, for anyone who is cruising on Mariner in 2024. Well, that's all I have for now. So y'all take care and God bless. And from my family to yours, happy cruising.